Okay, so when you think of the great composers, I bet names like Bach or Beethoven pop into your head, right? But what about the masters behind the masters? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on Carl Reinecke, a name you might not know, but trust me, you'll be glad you do.
We all know the famous names, for sure. But think about this for a second. Who taught them? We're going behind the scenes to find those incredible figures who shaped the future of music. And that's exactly where Carl Reinecke comes in.
See, Reinecke wasn't just one thing. He was a true triple threat of the classical world. He was a brilliant composer, a renowned conductor, and a legendary teacher. And in this explainer, we're going to dig into each of these roles and see what made him so special.
First things first, to really get a handle on his impact, we have to step into his world. So, Section 1. Let's set the scene and explore what it meant to be a musical master back in the 19th century.
Reinecke was a German musical powerhouse, right, in the heart of the Romantic era. Now, this period wasn't just about love songs. We're talking about a time defined by huge emotions, grand expressions, and incredible musical storytelling. And he was right there, a central figure in that whole movement.
And listen, he wasn't just another musician. The guy was a flat-out prodigy. From a really early age, he showed this exceptional, almost unbelievable talent for both playing the piano and composing. Just look at this number, 19. I mean, while most of us are still figuring out what to do with our lives, that's the age Carl Reinecke's professional career just exploded onto the scene. At only 19, he was already being celebrated as both a brilliant composer and a virtuoso pianist. That's a staggering start to any career.
And this timeline, wow, it really shows you the sheer scope of his dedication. Born in 1824, he kicks off his career in 1843. Then he becomes the conductor of the super prestigious Leipzig Orchestra, a job he holds for decades. He's influencing the world of music right up until his death in 1910. That is nearly 70 years of professional work, a whole lifetime devoted to his craft. All right, so let's break down that triple threat we mentioned earlier, starting with his first big role, Section 2, the romantic composer, and the amazing music he crafted.
So, what did his music actually sound like? Well, it was pure romanticism. I mean, think of melodies so expressive they practically sing words, and harmonies so rich and complex they create this deep emotional landscape. This was music designed not just to be heard, but to be felt.
But just writing the music, that wasn't enough for him. He had to be the one to bring it to life. And that brings us to the second pillar of his influence in Section 3, the influential conductor. He conducted the legendary Leipzig Gewandhaus Orchestra. And let's be super clear here. This wasn't just any local group. It was, and it still is, one of Germany's most famous and prestigious orchestras. To lead them meant you were at the absolute peak of the musical world. It was a position of immense influence and respect. And that brings us to his third, and you could argue his most lasting impact, the inspiring teacher, shaping the future of music itself. This really illustrates his impact perfectly. It's like this incredible ripple effect, right? It wasn't just about giving lessons. He guided young musicians, which then inspired a whole new generation of composers, and that ultimately helped shape the very future of how music was taught. It's just a powerful chain reaction. So you've got the composer, the conductor, and the teacher. You put all three of those pieces together, and what do you get? You get an enduring legacy. So let's wrap up by exploring why Carl Reinecke still matters so much today. This quote from our source material really just nails it. He's an important figure whose work continues to be enjoyed. And while his compositions are still performed, his greatest legacy might actually be a living one. All the generations of musicians he taught, who then carried his high standards into the future. And all this kind of leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If someone as talented and influential as Carl Reinecke can sort of fade from the spotlight, who are the forgotten masters of our own time? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.